Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good evening. How are you all doing? Okay. I just realized I did not sign on to my Facebook on my laptop. So let's see how it goes. All right. So, how are we doing this afternoon? I trust everything is good with us. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, let me see. My apologies. Um, can we hear me? I want to believe that we can hear me. Let me just check now that I've logged on my laptop. Just check now that I've logged on. All right. Okay, so at least I'm sure that I can be heard. So how are we all doing? How is everything with you? Okay, so at least I'm sure that I can be. Oh, wow. I didn't know I was still playing that one. So, how are we doing? How is everyone? How is your day going? I hope your day is off to an excellent start. Please let me know when you join me that you are here. Let me know how it is with you, where you're joining me from. Just let me know, and welcome back once again to Growth Habits with Ngozi. Remember that I am your personal guide on this journey of growth. I am your personal guide, as in personal guide on this journey of growth. So, I always look forward. Yes, I always look forward to sharing this time with each and every one of us. And I appreciate the fact, honestly, that you take out this time to be here. Welcome, Captain Noel. I'm glad that you decided to join us this afternoon. I hope you're good. All right. So, as I said, I'm your personal guide on the journey of growth because I don't just tell you about growth. I don't just do all, I actually journey with you on this journey of growth. As I speak here, each day that I'm able to come up here, I'm also talking to myself. I am learning so much as I am teaching us here. So the journey, we are on it together. And we will get to the, end. Well, I don't know if there's an end to the journey of growth, but we will make progress together. Thank you once again for joining me. If you're watching the replay, thank you also. Do let me know that you're watching the replay. If you're watching the replay, thank you once again. So we started this conversation on change management some sessions back because I felt the year is ending. We're going into a new year. Just about everyone will be planning for the new year, and it's essential that we know because when we are planning for the new year, we usually have one thing or the other we want to achieve in that year. There's always one, major goal, or some of us have 3, 4 goals that we want to achieve in the coming year. But in preparing for that, most times we don't remember to make provision for change, because just going from where you are now to that thing you want to achieve in the future is a change. And it needs to be properly managed so that you don't get overwhelmed along the way. This is why many of us, we start with our New Year's resolutions. Before January is over, we've abandoned it. So it's because we did not plan for how to manage that change. So that is why I chose to talk for the remaining part of this year about change management, the different aspects of it, what does it mean, and all that. Welcome, Richard. Welcome, Regina Obiago. I'm so glad you all joined me this afternoon. I'm so happy today because for some time, when people join, I'm not able to see. But today, I'm seeing that people are joining. I can see it before people will join, because afterwards, when I check the live, I will see how many people join. But I couldn't see it while the live is on. So I'm very, very glad today. Della F. Young, welcome. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. All right, so before I go into my recap, I held a boot camp over the weekend, and it was such an experience. I held a 3-day leadership boot camp, and really, it was such an experience. It was an awesome experience. I will still share key takeaways maybe by next year. As we get into the new year, I will share takeaways from that boot camp. It was quite enlightening. If you missed that boot camp, you missed a lot. It was a free boot camp, wasn't paid, but honestly, truthfully, this is something people pay thousands of naira to attend. This boot camp I held for free 3 days. The participants will tell you it was not anyhow boot camp. You know, sometimes when we do free things, we just do it anyhow because people are not paying. This was not such. The boot camp was rich, well packaged. In fact, they're even going to do the assessment, an assessment like a small exam, a small quiz to test whether they understood what was taught today. Then they will get a certificate of participation in the boot camp. So if you missed that, you truly missed a lot. But I will let us know when the next boot camp will come up here so that we can be part of it. But unfortunately, for those of us that missed this free one, the next boot camp will not be free. So, well, it's one of those things. You will pay for the next boot camp. All right, so let me go right into the recap of what we have looked at so far in concentric change management. The first session, session 83, which means this is our 6th session. Yeah, if we started at 83, this is our 6th session on change management. So we have really dealt with change management from a lot of angles. So that first session was just an introduction to change management. And we defined it as an approach, a structured plan that individuals or corporations, teams put together that help them transition from their current state to a desired future state. You can see why I said that it's essential to have it as you're planning for your 2025, because you're transitioning from one state to a desired future state. So a change management is that plan, that structured plan you put in place to take care of that transition, to take care of that move. So you can have a change management plan for your personal life, for your business, for your team, for your company, whatever. But it is essential to have that plan in place so that you are not taken by surprise by a lot of things. Remember that the one thing that we can be sure of is change, because change will always happen. Change will always happen. Something must change. So we need to be prepared and manage it properly. That was session 83. Session 84, we now consider the different types of change, because yes, change is change, but there are different types. And when we understand the type of change we're embarking on, it will help us know how to follow it up, how to plan for it, how to put a structure around it. So we looked at strategic, structural, technological, and cultural change. These are the different types of change that we looked at in session 84. Remember that you can rewatch some of these sessions right here on Facebook. The replays are up on Facebook, but you can also go to our YouTube channel, Growth Habits with Ngozi YouTube channel, and you have all the recordings of all the sessions and previous sessions. So subscribe to that YouTube channel so that you will always have the sessions to look back on. All the sessions from the very beginning, they're on that YouTube channel. But on here on Facebook, I think they delete after a while. So make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. The link to the YouTube channel should be showing on this live. I usually put it so that link is showing. If it's not, I will still put it up again at the end of the session in the comments, and you can pick it up from there. All right, so that was session 84. We talked about the different types of change. In session 85, we talked about the change management process, and we did a step-by-step guide of the whole process, from planning to communicating to implementing to evaluating. That is the four basic steps to a change management process. Planning, putting, visioning is part of the planning stage, knowing exactly what you're trying to achieve, communicating, being able to tell relevant stakeholders, people that will be affected by this change about it, and being able to communicate it properly. Implementation, going about doing the change, doing the activity, and then evaluation, checking to ensure that everything is working out properly, checking to see if there's need to adapt anything, to change anything, because you can't assume that because I've planned this change that things will not also change in the process of implementation. So it's essential to evaluate. Okay, the next session we had was the role of leadership in change management. And we agreed that leadership plays a critical role. Whoever really is leading the change determines the pace the change goes, determines even if that change will succeed. Because as the leader, you should be able to drive initiatives, you should be able to inspire the team, you should be able to create an environment that people feel comfortable in, and people feel, an environment that's adaptable, that can change. Even if you're not leading a team and you're leading just yourself, you also need to do these things. You also need to inspire yourself. You also need to create an environment for you to be able to adapt as quickly as possible. So we looked at the things that is expected from a leader, like setting the vision, managing any resistance that may come up, and then modeling the desired behavior. Whatever behavior you want to elicit from those you lead, you need to model it. We spoke extensively about that in session 86. In session 87, we talked about developing a change management strategy. This is the main structured plan itself now, being able to design it that will guide you, that will guide your team, that will guide your organization through this transition. So putting this plan in place now. It has to do with aligning your goals with your values, of course, minimizing resistance, ensuring that this change is sustainable. Because, yes, many of us, we start change process and we don't sustain it. We're not able to carry through to for long periods. Let me not say for long periods, for the long term. So this is part of what you have to build into your change management strategy: sustainability, long-term sustainability, so that the change is not something that just starts and after a season, even before you fully actualize what you're trying to do, the change or the process halts. So that was what we talked about in developing a change management strategy. That means that we need to be clear. The vision has to be clear, and it has to be adaptable. These are the things we talked about. Then in session 88, we talked about communication strategies during this period of change. What are the things you need to do communication wise in order to ensure that change happens and happens effectively? And we talked about clarity, being clear about the vision, and being clear about communicating the vision. I mentioned we have this tendency to complicate communication, and it doesn't really help. Be as clear as possible. Let even a 3 or 4 year old be able to understand this change you're trying to bring about, this vision that you have, be able to communicate it in a way that a 3 or a 4-year-old would understand what you are saying. When people understand a vision, they can run with it. But when they don't, that's when you see that people, they resist and they bring hindrances to the vision moving forward. So communicate clearly. This will definitely reduce resistance because the people have understood and they are able to buy into the vision. And also in leading yourself, you need to also communicate the vision clearly. Yes, you have a vision in your head where you want to go, where you want to arrive, but you need to be able to even make yourself truly understand this vision so that you can carry it and run with it. Okay. That was the last session last week, session 88. So today, session 89, we're taking up another aspect of that change management process and change management strategy. And we want to talk about engaging employees in the change initiative. You could say, okay, we're talking about engaging employees that don't have employees, but you do have team members. Or even if you don't have employees, you don't have team members, it's just yourself that you need to lead through this change process. It's also essential that you engage fully. So the things we are going to be talking about, yes, they'll be tailored more towards somebody that has maybe in an organization, you have employees, or you're a business person, you have people that work for you, or you're leading a team in church, a team anywhere. This will be more tailored, what we're going to talk about today, more tailored to you. But even for you that is doing a change process personally, just for yourself, a personal change process, you can still apply some of the things we are going to talk about today, and they would also be relevant to you. Now, it's essential to engage those who are going to be participants in your change process, or even if they are not participants per se, but they are stakeholders, they are people that will be affected by your change. It's essential that you engage them, and engage them early. Engage early. Don't just engage early, because when people, for example, in your company where you work, in the business that you're running, in the team that you are leading, when people feel valued, because that's generally what will happen when you involve them early, they'll feel valued. They'll feel, okay, she even thought of me, or he even thought of me. I'm part of the process. When they feel valued, they are motivated to carry out whatever change process you're trying to carry out. So we have to, which is why it's important for you, self, as the initiator of the change, to understand fully the change you're trying to embark on, so that you can communicate it effectively and get buy-in from those that will be affected by this change. It helps when you have like a plan to engage the employees, to engage the workers, to engage the team members. It helps when you have a plan to engage them than when you're just doing it off the fly. So what we will talk about today is more a structured plan that you can put in place to help you engage employees, team members, and even yourself, really, in this your change process. So we're going to go right in and look at the key elements. Chinwe, Eunice, thank you for joining me today. You're welcome. If this is your first time joining my live, please do let me know that it's your first time. And if you're a long-time watcher, please also let me know. Remember, yes, before I go on, remember that you can be a subscriber. You can subscribe to this my channel, or this my group. Group, I've got my profile. You can subscribe. When you're a subscriber, you will get some additional information that others don't get. So you don't just get to watch this live, you get some other additional things from me to you if you're a subscriber. So check that out. It should show on my profile when you connect. I will still, at the end of this live, I will put up the link to be a subscriber. It's not free. It's not free. That is how Facebook works. So it's not free. There's an amount to be paid every month to be a subscriber. All right. The key elements of engaging your employees, your team members in the change initiatives. Now, one, always, if you notice, all the times we have talked about just about any aspect of this change initiative, the first thing we always mentioned is the vision, because that is the key, is the vision. So if you're going to engage employees, team members, whoever else in the change process, the vision needs to be clear on your side, and it needs to be shared. It needs to be shared. So a shared vision, by definition anyway, is a clear and inspiring statement of the goals and purpose of the change initiative. So if you, as the initiator, does not fully understand the vision or what you're trying to achieve by the change you're initiating or by the change you're bringing about, you can't pass it across. I've said this almost every session, honestly, but it bears repeating. And you need to really sit with this vision. Remember that I said, I can't remember which particular session, but I spoke about the need for you to not just know the change you want to carry out, not just to see it, but to actually have been there. In your mind's eye, you need to have participated somehow in this change. You need to understand what this change feels like. You need to understand what it feels like to have achieved this change in your mind's eye. And that takes you visualizing, and that takes you understanding the process properly. The vision. This is key. This is key. If you do not have a proper understanding of the vision of where you want to go to, and possibly the path that gets you to that place, you cannot communicate it with anyone properly. You truly can't. So the first step is always to understand the change properly, both the where you are, where you are going to, and also to understand the process of getting from that point A to point B. You, that is the initiator of the change, needs to have this down completely. You need to understand it completely. And as I mentioned to us, one of the key ways to assess your understanding of your vision, your understanding of the process you want to go through, is to be able to explain that process to a 3 or 4-year-old and they understand it. This is a scientifically proven fact that any principle, any idea that you're able to explain to a 3 or a 4-year-old and they can understand it, you yourself have a good grasp of that topic, that process, that idea, whatever it is. So you, as the initiator of the change, needs to understand the change, the process, from point A to point B. You need to understand it so well that you can explain it to a 3, 4-year-old child and they would grasp it. Okay? Yeah, good day, Mrs. Obiago. I see your comment. Good day, everyone. As she said, I'm repeating for all of us in case we didn't catch that comment. So we need to have that clear understanding. Then we can put it down. Once we have that clear understanding of the vision of where we are going, then we can put it down in a statement that we can pass across to others. I hope that is clear. So leaders need to articulate how this change aligns with the mission, the vision, the values, and how it will benefit those you're trying to carry along on this journey. Human beings are, um, we are made in a way that we always look for, how does this benefit me? This is human nature. Human beings, this is how human beings generally operate. We're always looking for, what do I stand to gain in this situation? So as the change initiator, you have to be able to tell people what they stand to gain. Especially if you're leading a team, the team members need to understand what they stand to gain in following you. Following this, your vision, this, your idea, this, your process. There has to be something in it for them. This is human nature. So, as the initiator of the change, ensure that you understand and you're able to communicate the mission. Ensure that this mission aligns with the values of the organization, the values of the team, your personal values, if it is a personal change initiative. Once it aligns, this is why it's essential to cause it to align. It's easier for you to be a crusader of a vision that aligns to your mission, your purpose, your values. It's so much easier because, it's something you know. You know your values. You know the mission of your organization. So once that change aligns with it, it's easier for you to be able to carry the message out. So ensure that it aligns. Ensure that it aligns. Don't embark on change initiatives that are at polar opposites from the mission of your organization, from the vision or the mission of your business, of your company, or personal values. It is difficult to carry out such a change initiative when it doesn't align. It's so difficult because you're working against your grain. You're working against your very nature. This is why maybe like in organizations, you see that maybe a new manager is brought in or something, and he's given a task to do something. Anything could actually be put in here. And they are struggling with it because it doesn't align with their own personal values. I don't know if we have seen this in organizations. I have seen it in several. Because this change process, this new direction the company wants to go, or whatever we want to call it, does not align with the values of the initiator, it's difficult to carry it out. Or it does not align with the mission of the organization, it is hard, very hard, difficult to carry out such change. Because you self do not buy into it. You that is supposed to drive the change, you have not bought into it. It doesn't align. So that is the first step. Ensure that this vision aligns. And once it aligns, this change you're trying to take on, once it aligns, it becomes so much easier for you to communicate it effectively and to get engagement from the employees, from the team members, even from yourself. Okay, so that is the number one thing, is create a shared vision, a statement, an inspiring statement of the goals or the purpose of this change initiative, and ensure that that change initiative aligns with the organization's mission, vision, your values, and that it benefits those that is being introduced to. Okay, so that is number one. Number two is to involve those employees, those team members early. Early. Keyword is not just to involve them in the process, involve them early in the process. Ensure that as much as possible, they are in the planning stage. They are part of that planning stage. not just in the execution. But this is what I see in a lot of organizations want to introduce a change. And at the board level, for example, they do the planning, do everything, and then when it's time to execute, that's when they bring in the employees. And that is why we have resistance. The people don't feel a part of the process. So they are not compelled to support it. They're not compelled to move it forward. They need to ensure that they are brought in early, possibly from the planning and decision-making stage. This does not take away the global strategic abilities of the management or the top management or whoever. You could still do your strategic planning, yes, but ensure that at that beginning stage of taking some decisions, planning how to implement this change, bring in these team members, get their input. It doesn't mean that when you get their input, you must, apply everything they said. No, but get their input. Let them feel heard. Let them feel a part of the process. So involve the employees, the team members early. Involve them early. Because definitely when people participate in that planning process, they feel a sense of ownership. They feel a sense of ownership, and they are less likely to resist. They are less likely to resist because they feel a sense of, this is our thing. We planned this thing. We came up with the strategies to achieve this goal. So they feel a part of it. They have a sense of ownership, and they are less likely to resist the change. This is not a guarantee. Nothing is a guarantee, actually. But generally, they will feel more part of the process, and they will be less likely to resist this change. Now, on a personal level, it means truly you, because now I'm talking about a change that is for you, not for a team. You have to truly involve yourself. It sounds like, how will I not involve myself? It is me that is doing this change. It's for me that this change is happening. But many a times we have mental consent to the change, but we are not innate 100%. We just have mental consent. I agree to living a healthier life. That's the change I'm trying to embark on. I have mental consent. I agree to it in my head, but I have not accepted it in all of its glory. As we would say, I have not fully engaged in that process to know that this is what this process is going to look like. This is what this process is going to take from me. There is no journey that doesn't take something, even if it's a small thing. So that personal engagement is also very important. Early, get yourself fully involved. For example, you notice that your finances are not doing so well, and you want to improve on it in the coming year. You want to be able to save. You want to be able to whatever, but you want to improve on your finances in the coming year. Get involved by having a budget right from the beginning. This is one way to engage you personally in the process. Have a budget. Draft a budget. Talk to a financial advisor. See, when you take these steps, you are getting yourself involved in the process. You're engaging yourself properly in the process of bringing about that change, which is for you to have a better financial future. So you see that personal engagement is also a thing. It's not just to engage your team members. It's not just to involve your team members from the planning stage. It's also to you. When you are handling a change process for you, you need to be fully engaged from the beginning. If the change process is to live healthier, from the beginning, begin to look for healthy alternatives to some foods you love, for example. Look for healthy alternatives. That action of going to look for and going to source for the healthier alternatives is a way of being involved in the process, of engaging yourself. Of course, for an organization, for a team, that I've mentioned it, you're rolling out, let's assume, a new tool in your company. From the beginning, seek out input from the team members. From the beginning. So that even before the tool, for example, let's say you want to introduce a new app or something, even before the app is fully developed, you get the input of the team members. They're the ones that will run this program, most probably, not you. So get their input early, get them involved from the beginning. So I've talked about two things: creating a shared vision, then involving the employees. The next thing or the next key component of engaging the employees in the process is to communicate effectively. Communicate effectively. Let your communication be transparent. Let it be timely. Let it be relevant to the people. Keep people informed. Of course, there's this fine line between giving too much information and keeping people informed. We must still maintain that line. It's not everything that everyone needs to know. You have to have an understanding of what level of information to give to who also. Most probably, your team members do not need to know the strategic plan. That's the overall strategic plan. They might not need every information about it, but they need to have an idea of it. And then they need to have the executable parts, information on it, because they will be the ones executing. So ensure that your communication is transparent. Don't hoard information from people. It doesn't help. Don't hoard information. Let people be properly informed. When you hoard information, gossip thrives. And gossip is one of the quickest ways to destroy a process. Misinformation. So ensure that people receive information, that information is transparent, that information is timely, and that it is relevant. Okay. Give regular updates. For example, have open discussions, seek their opinions, and don't also just have the discussion, then you don't use what they say. Don't also do that. Ensure that you're engaging, you're discussing with them, you're getting inputs from them, and you're applying some. There's no way you're going to apply every input they give you. But at least the ones that truly are relevant, the ones that truly have an impact on the situation, apply it. Apply it. So give regular updates, open discussions to ensure that they understand, and help people to see how this change will benefit them. That appeals to that nature of humans to always want to know what is in it for me. So ensure that they understand the benefits that accrue to them by reason of this change. On a personal level, have times of self-reflection. This is how you communicate effectively with yourself. Have times of self-reflection. Have times of positive reinforcement. Maybe when things are not looking as they should, reframe the situation in your mind to yourself. But communicate. Okay, just checking the time. The next aspect, I hope it's like I'm slower than I thought today. But the next thing is to recognize and address resistance. Because there will be resistance. Even when the plan is for yourself, the change you're trying to undergo is for yourself, is a personal change, is not for a team or anything, there will be resistance. It sounds, how do I resist myself? But we do resist ourselves. We do. You are embarking on a healthy journey and then you stock your fridge with food that's not healthy. That is a resistance. So ensure that you recognize and that you address resistance. Know that there must be resistance in one shape or the other. There must be. And of course, one of the greatest things that cause resistance is misinformation or lack of information. So ensure that we give information, like I said. Another thing is the fear of the unknown. It happens to all of us. We're afraid of that future that we don't know. But when we are informed of that future, the fear factor reduces. So recognize that there will be resistance and address the resistance. The fear of the unknown, a lack of trust, perceived negative impacts of the change. Know that these are things you will address, and address them with empathy. Address them with proper, correct information. Listen to your team members, listen to your employees, listen to your workers, listen to their concerns. It will help you know where the resistance could come from. So listen to their concerns, listen to what they are saying, and then help, provide some kind of support to them. On a personal level, you will definitely, there will be some internal resistance of fear, of course. Once again, is an internal resistance on a personal level. Then it's essential that you address these fears. Reframe negatives to positives. For example, the healthy life or the healthy journey I gave as an example earlier. You want to live healthier, and maybe you've started, and the first month, let's just say, you are doing well, you're losing weight, you're seeing the results, and then you stall because it happens. It happens. The weight loss stalls apparently because you're no longer noticing changes on the scale. And you begin to tell yourself, this is not going to work. I knew it when I started. No. See, this is a resistance to deal with early. When you're from the point of planning this healthy journey, know that things like this will happen. Know that there are times that the weight loss will stall. And begin early to reframe the negatives to positives. Excuse me. My throat went a little dry. Oh, no, boss, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Good day to you too. So, yeah, very important. So, that is to recognize and address resistance. Very key. The next thing I want to talk about is to provide training and necessary resources for your team members, for your employees. We're talking about employee engagement here now. But like I said, we'll also find a way to relate it to our personal, individual lives as we are going about this change, as we are walking through this change process. So provide training and resources. Equip individuals with the skills they need. Equip them with the resources they need. Equip them with the tools that they need to succeed in this change process. Equip them with the relevant tools. Is it training? Give them the training. Do they need mentorship? Offer them that mentorship. Equip people to adapt to this new system you want to introduce. Equip them to adapt to this new process. Equip them to adapt to this new tool, this new app, whatever it is that you're trying to introduce. Equip people to be able to adapt to it. Don't expect people to adapt when you don't equip them. So equip them. If it's training they need, give them the training. Bring in someone to teach them if you yourself cannot handle it, if it's something that is beyond what you can handle. Bring in someone to do it. Organize workshops, whatever, but equip them with what they need, with the skills, with the tools that is required in order to achieve this change. Equip them. On a personal level, maybe you need to read some books. Read. Maybe you need to attend some courses. Attend. Maybe you need a weight loss coach for that living healthy lifestyle. Get one. Equip yourself also with what you need, the required training or the required resources in order to carry out this change. The next aspect, the next component, the next component is to foster collaboration and teamwork. Foster collaboration and teamwork. Encourage collaboration. Collaboration always helps build like a sense of community, a sense of family. Encourage it. Encourage it in your team. It will help people work to achieve that desired goal. Encourage collaboration. Encourage people to work together. Encourage teams to work together. On a personal level, if you need an accountability partner, get one. But encourage collaboration in whatever form that will help bring about your desired goal and that will help you reach your desired targets. Encourage collaboration. If you need to collaborate with another department in the company in order to achieve your goals, encourage it. Go for it. Go for it. Because collaboration always helps build a sense of community. And community is an impetus, is a catalyst to bring about change. When people work together and they feel committed to a goal, they most probably will achieve it. More than when they are at discordant tones. So encourage collaboration. If you are able to work with another department, as I said, take it. You must not go it alone. You must not go it alone. Then the next thing is to recognize contributions and celebrate successes. Recognize contributions and celebrate successes. Acknowledge people's efforts. Don't ever take people's efforts for granted. You're trying to achieve something. You're trying to lead people from here to there. Acknowledge the things they did. Acknowledge their efforts. Acknowledge their achievements. Don't belittle people's efforts and people's achievements, even for yourself personally. As you embark on your own personal change journey, acknowledge your efforts. Acknowledge your achievements. Celebrate your small wins. Don't take them for granted. Good afternoon, Kelechi. Welcome. I'm glad you joined me this afternoon, though you joined late, but you're welcome. So acknowledge, recognize and acknowledge people's contributions, recognize and acknowledge people's efforts. Because truly, if you could achieve this change, let's assume you're part of a team now. If you could achieve the change all by yourself, what do you need all the people for? You don't need them, so you can do it by yourself. But most times we cannot achieve those successes all by ourselves. Even for a personal change plan, going back to the healthy living example, or the financial, you want to have a better hold on your finances. Maybe your finances, you feel they're a little bit out of control. You can't even achieve that by yourself. You really cannot. The healthy lifestyle, if the people that live in the same household with you do not go on this journey with you, they don't have to probably eat the same food. But if they have not bought into it, how do you think you're going to be successful? You're trying to eat healthy. They are packing the chips. They are packing the sodas, the cokes, the Fantas inside the fridge. They are packing the cakes, the meat pie. How do you do it? So you have to recognize people's efforts, people's contributions, and then celebrate the little achievements that you make. You must not wait until you have, achieved 50%, for example. That you went through one day, for example, on this personal level now, that you went through one day and you made healthy choices throughout. Celebrate it. Is worth celebrating. For your team, for your organization, celebrate milestones. Of course, I want to believe that in the planning stage, you had milestones. Once you hit anyone, celebrate it. Once you hit any milestone, celebrate it. People's contributions, celebrate them. Don't, for example, a team member gives a suggestion that helps the journey be smoother, that helps improve something. Please recognize it. You don't take other people's efforts as your own. Recognize people's efforts. Recognize people's achievements. This helps boost morale. This helps reinforce their commitment to the process. Don't be taking credit for people's activities, for people's efforts, for people's achievements. Give people their flowers. Give people their flowers. You cannot really be said to be effective in your leadership, to be effective in your leadership, actually, if you're not able to give people their flowers. You are not almighty. If you could achieve this by yourself, why did you need people? So acknowledge people's efforts, recognize their achievements. It boosts morale, it reinforces their commitment to the team, to the target, to the process, to the end goal. And also on a personal level, reward your small wins, recognize them, celebrate them. It helps, reinforce the good things you did to get there. Those good habits you imbibed in order to get to that point that you're now celebrating, it will be enforced because you celebrated it. It will be reinforced in your psyche. And I think I will end here. Today. The last component of getting employee engagement in the change initiative is to build a supportive culture. Build a supportive culture. Create an environment that values adaptability, that values inclusivity, that values mutual support. Create that environment where people feel that, they've got my back. In this organization, they've got my back. Create a supportive culture. This will help people embrace the change for sure, because they know that somebody has got their back. They know that somebody is supporting them. They know that somebody will not, abandon them. They will not feel threatened. So create that culture. Have like mentorship programs, like in your organization or in your team. Have in the team, you see that one team member is well versed, is a strong team player. Let that person be attached to someone that is maybe less knowledgeable, and let that one that is stronger help the one that is weaker. Have that kind of environment that, people are comfortable with things changing. You understand? With things, not always going as planned. Create that environment where people are comfortable, where people know that adaptability is key. Create that environment. Have a supportive culture so that people can actually embrace change. And people see change as an opportunity and not as a threat. Create that environment. It is you that will create that environment. It doesn't exist naturally. Let me just tell us. Such an environment is not naturally occurring. It has to be created. So create that environment by, letting people feel free to share and then feel supported and not threatened. On a personal level, support yourself with people that can support you. Surround yourself with people that will support you. Surround yourself with people that will support you. That is how to build a supportive culture around you personally. The journey is a personal journey. Surround yourself with people that will support you. You need a mentor, have a mentor. Have an accountability partner. Have a buddy that will help you track your progress and be motivated. Even in that corporate setting, you can have the buddy system working, accountability partners working, even in that corporate organization, so that people feel supported. They know that even if I am missing it, someone has got my back. This is a great tool to get people engaged in the process, to get people engaged in the change initiative. All right, so having said that, I think I will end this session here. So it is important in a change initiative, in a change process, to have full engagement, full commitment from those that are being led, including yourself. It is very important. When you involve people and you involve them early in the process, it takes away that feeling of is their own. And they buy into the process. They become owners of the vision and they can drive it because they feel, it's their vision. Because they feel they are being seen, because they feel they are being heard. They see that you encourage them. They see that you're supportive. They will take it as their own and they will run with it. But when they don't get that feeling of inclusion, when they don't get that feeling of we are part of the process, they leave it for you. It's your business. Run it. It's your own. Do what you want. So I believe that we have gotten something from this session today. We try our best to apply the things that we are learning. Remember that is the key part of this growth journey. It's not to learn and learn and learn again. It's to apply the things we are learning. As you're preparing for your 2025 plans, put these things into practice so that by this time next year, you would have had a string of successes. You would not have started the year and by January ending, almost all your plans are in rubbles. Almost all the resolutions that we have made are in rubbles. Let's take the time now, as the year is ending, as 2024 is coming to an end. Take the time now to plan your 2025 and to prepare yourself to be successful in the coming year. Thank you all once again for joining me this afternoon. It's always a pleasure to share this time with us. Remember to follow us on all our social media handles. We are right here on Facebook, Growth Habits with Ngozi, and of course my own personal Facebook page, which is where you are seeing this live now, Ngozi Onwucholoba. On Instagram, Ngozi Onwucholoba, and Growth Habits with Ngozi. That is on Instagram. We're on YouTube, Growth Habits with Ngozi on YouTube. Follow, subscribe to that channel. Everything since the beginning is right there. All the live sessions, all the short videos, that I share within the week, they're all on that YouTube page. Go there, subscribe, and then you can have access to all of those things. We're also on TikTok, Growth Habits with Ngozi. You see that we are almost everywhere. I'm on LinkedIn, Ngozi Onwucholoba. You know, I don't do all this, maybe like nicknames or anything. Just search my name, you will see it. You will see it on LinkedIn. Follow me everywhere. Facts. Follow me everywhere. Our 2025 mentorship program is already on. If you want, we are trying. I hope I'll be able, by God's grace, to conclude the work on our website so that you can go there, book one-on-one clarity session, so that you can go there, subscribe to our mentorship. We have one-on-one mentorship. We have group mentorship programs. I'm trying to make sure all that comes out before the end of this year. But if, let me not put that if. In the meantime, before the website is ready, you can reach out to me if you want one-on-one mentorship or just a 1-hour clarity session, or you want our mentorship programs. We have a 1-month program, we have a 3-month program, 6-month program, and a 1-year mentorship program. So it both individual and group, they run in those different packages. So do reach out to me if you want to be part of that in any way. Remember to purchase our journal, still on Seller, still on Amazon. Purchase our journal to help you in this coming year. You can put down your thoughts, put down your plans in the journal, get the accompanying workbook that gives you the prompts of some of the things you can think on and then ponder on and then write down in your journal, or get just a journal and write down your thoughts in that journal. The link should be on this live, the link to the Seller page and also to the Amazon page. I think those are the information I want to pass across to us. Josephine, thank you for joining me. Thank you so much. I appreciate your being here this afternoon. All right, so don't forget to make today and every day count. Be valuable in all that you do and ensure that you're growing. Don't let a day go by that you don't experience growth on one level or the other. Don't let a day go by. Thank you for joining me once again, and I will see you next week, Tuesday, as we continue on this change management series. We will end it by the end of the year, definitely, and by January, we will start on a new series. All right, thank you all once again for joining me, and do have a beautiful remaining part of your day. Bye-bye.